I always believe that I'm not a US dollar. Not everybody has to like me. So, when we gonna get married? When we gonna get married?
That's a lot of pressure, my God.
I said no pressure, but when we gonna get married? So.
Oh my gosh. Hey guys, welcome to the 58th episode of the Learning Podcast. And if you aren't sure, it's a Singaporean podcast dedicated to learning something new from every single guest on this show. And today, I have a very special guest that I reached out to on LinkedIn. Her name is Xiao.
Xiao. Call me Xiao.
Thanks so much for coming. I know it's a little bit inconvenient. A little context about Xiao. She's a sales head in Asia for F45. And if you don't know what F45 is, it's like a fitness gym. And it conducts functional HIIT workouts, conducts team training sessions, and it takes 45 minutes to burn up to 750 calories for a good 45 minutes workout. And F45 means it's functional 45. So I think we are all very busy people nowadays and we want to make full use of our time. So I think that this gym provides those kind of workouts for very busy individuals who still want to keep fit at the end of the day. So Xiao actually grew the number of F45 outlets in Singapore from 10 to 45 studios in one single year. So I think that the franchise business is something that I don't have a very clear understanding of, and I think that this conversation will be just a learning journey for me to know what it's like, because I know that I think similar to like McDonald's, whereby it's like Han Pao Pao Private Limited, right? So that's a sort of a franchise. So maybe she could share more of the model, and I know that she earns really based on commission, and it's very lucrative if you are very, very good at this kind of B2B marketing. So I'm very interested to find out from her experience, how is it like in the franchise business as well. A little bit more context about her. She's also a marketing director at Tutor. What's the full name?
Tutor, WeChat TikTok Marketing Private Limited.
Got it. So she does WeChat and TikTok marketing. So if you're ever interested to run TikTok ads, TikTok ads was something that I just ran for some of my clients at Vaynermedia right now, and it's very, very interesting as well. And I know that she has a lot of experience in that. Her past clients include AIA, PropNext, Scoot, Taobao, and a Singapore Flyer. And I know that if you want to reach a Chinese audience all over the world, whether it's in Singapore, whether it's in China, whether it's in Malaysia, you can really reach them through WeChat as a platform, because we know that, at least when I was in Beijing, WeChat is like everyone uses it. So it's a good channel to really reach your Chinese consumers as well. A little other context, she was also a piano tutor a very, 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 very long time ago, which is what I used to do as well. Actually, I'm still right now teaching. So I'm very interested in her transition from being like a piano tutor, or even before that, like how if she even came to Singapore as well, built up her career in a sense, and actually jumped ship to even all these kind of operations side, and eventually becoming a managing director, like marketing director, and like there's so many other stuff. So yeah, that's a little context. Yang Xiao, if there's anything I missed out, is there anything you want to supplement and add?
Well, the most important, the role is a working mom of two children. My kids are so young, 5 years old and 9 years old as well. And then everything, the kids are definitely the priority, and everything else is secondary. So I think that is a full-time job to start with.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of conversation about being a mom as well. So, okay, I know I have no idea where this conversation will lead, because there's so many things that we can talk about, right? But going all the way back to your beginning journey, right? When did the thought of you coming to Singapore came to place? Was it from your parents, from your friends, or like where did this idea even come from in the first place?
So I think since I started learning English when I was 12 or 13 years old.
That's quite late.
That was quite late. In the 80s in China, you don't learn English that early. And also English classes are very, very expensive. So it's difficult for the parents to afford. And then I realized, okay, my gosh, there's the outside world. And then there's... I always want to go overseas. I was thinking to myself, if I go to uni in the future, or I live somewhere else besides where I came from, Chengdu, Sichuan, I would never go to Beijing or Shanghai. Either I go overseas or I stay in Chengdu. Chengdu has a reputation of like, if they have $10, they will spend $9 and then take $1 to take a bus back, because we're really laid back, just very relaxed life. But then in China, the most dense tea houses are in Chengdu. It doesn't matter it's a Monday morning or it's a Friday afternoon, it's full. It's always full. So I was, when I was 17, actually, Nanyang Polytechnic came to my school for exam for a tuition grant. And then I passed the exam because of, I can speak English. Most of the China students, they're able to pass the English exam. They can write essays, but they can't talk. I think probably being like extremely extrovert. It really helps. And then I could pass an oral exam, and I came to Singapore, study manufacturing engineering in Nanyang Polytechnic for 3 years, and I absolutely hated every single day. That is definitely not my choice of major. The reason I study it, because the Singapore government is offering us 85% of the tuition fee grant and then guaranteed permanent residence when we graduate. There are lack of engineers. So we had no choice. I tried to change my major quite a few times. They rejected me. Said, "Do you want your 85% of the tuition fee paid by the government?" I said, "Yes, I do." "Do you want permanent resident after you graduate?" I said, "Yes, I do." "Okay, go back." So I suck it up. I did it, and then move on. And I was working in Philips for 3 weeks and 1 day. Why is 3 weeks and 1 day? Because it takes 3 weeks to apply for my permanent residence. And then that is the time I say, once I get my permanent residence, I'm safe for 5 years. I'm out of this industry, 100%. So during the time, I think in my year 2 or something, I have like grade 5 or 6 when I was in China for my piano learning. My parents actually beat the shit out of me for learning piano. At that time, in the early 90s, my dad makes about 300 kwai a month. My mom makes 200 kwai a month. Each piano class is 50 kwai. So if
kwai is in renminbi.
Yeah, kwai is RMB.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, my mom's whole salary goes to my piano teacher. That's all. So just imagine if I've been lazy, she gave me like 5 songs. I only can pass 2 or 3. She doesn't care. You're just wasting money. So I used to always have the hanger right next to the piano. Otherwise, I wouldn't play it. So I absolutely hate it. But once I came to Singapore, I realized, oh my gosh, I really don't want to work in McDonald's. So I started to learn all the music theory in English. Otherwise, I can't pass the ABRSM exam, right? So yeah, basically I was in the piano room for 6. At that time, Nanyang Poly is the only one having a piano assembly room. So yeah, for 6 months, I was there at least 4 or 5 hours, like practicing and then learning on my own, because I can't afford a piano class. So I bought a MP3 and I'm testing myself of the skills, like shuffle it. So I'm testing myself. It was tough, but I passed the exam barely. And then I started teaching piano since then. I always kept the clients. I never lose them, even I was having a full-time job. I knew that I would not stay as an engineer long, because once I quit my job, this is what I'm surviving on. Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot there, right? So technically, you took the AVRSM test by yourself, self-taught everything.
There was no YouTube, no nothing. Basically, I was really just bloody memorize it. So I think I taught like hundreds of students in the future. After that, I was good at teaching them, because whatever the mistake you're going through, I've been there. I've been there myself quite a few times, and I would tell them like what way they can get through. It's like we're playing a video game. I already at level 10, but I was trapped in level 3 and 4 and 5. I would tell you what happened, and then you don't do the same mistake. And then I became the richest kid in the school, because nobody else make such good money, because everybody is on McDonald's or banquet. Yeah.
I mean, for context for listeners, right? I mean, as a piano tutor, you can earn up to like $60 to even $100 an hour. So I imagine the kind of income. I mean, it did provide, at least for me individually, it did provide me an income which was quite much more compared to my peers as well. So I'm just interested to ask, right? Because you hated engineering so much. So much. I can feel it.
I remember the story I can tell you is the last year we have the final year project is an Omni well robot. So we do C programming. We program the robot go along the side of the wall. I just programmed to hit the wall.
Okay.
I just wanted to break. That's how much I bloody hate it.
Okay.
You sense the rage?
Yeah, I sense the rage, definitely. So were you considering to be like a piano tutor? Because obviously you're teaching so many students and you're obviously like outperforming your peers in terms of income like in school. So were you considering, okay, I'm going to do this for the long run? Like, would that come? So that was your only goal in mind?
I always know that I want to do something in my career, but being a girl, I probably have this traditional Chinese mindset. I know I'm more marriageable today than tomorrow. I need to get a husband as soon as possible.
Okay.
So actually, I met my husband when I was almost 22, when I was really, really young. But I dated quite a lot before. I mean, you can't buy a house, the first one you visit. And then quickly we engaged, and then I was like, when we gonna get married? When we gonna get married?
That's a lot of pressure, my God.
I said no pressure, but when we gonna get married? So,
oh my gosh.
So my British husband at that time, British boyfriend, he was like, okay, Zip, I put down a deposit. So he gave me an engagement ring. He said, okay, can we just date for a while? And I said, so that kept me quiet for 6 more months, and then we quickly get married. So I never started any career because I knew that I want to get married soon. I knew I want children as soon as possible as well. So my ideal timeline is I want 2 children before I was 30 years old. So quickly after we get married, I said, when are we gonna have children? When are we gonna have children?
I can feel so much pressure, my gosh.
So we had a first child, and then I said, we're gonna have a second child. So I had a really bad pregnancy sickness, very bad. I have to lie on bed 22 hours a day. I couldn't get up. I need to get to drip in the hospital because nothing goes in. So I knew that if I start any career, I have to stop in the halfway, then why bother to start it? So the best way is just keep on teaching piano. And I remember there was 8-year-old kids, they come to my place to learn the piano lesson. His class is only half an hour. I was so sick. I couldn't even sit up straight to teach a half-an-hour lesson. It's not difficult, to be honest. And I was like, then the poor boy said, oh my gosh, teacher, did I play that awful? That make you sick? As a kid, it's nothing to do with because my belly wasn't shown. At the first 3 months was terrible, but he doesn't know I was pregnant, right? Okay. So poor kid. I think he's traumatized for the rest of his life.
Oh my gosh, okay.
So my target is definitely, I always think family first. And then I think I have achieved something, not terribly glorious. But whatever I achieve because I have a very supportive husband, and I have I've done the thing I want to do already. Have 2 children, and then happy family, and then great children. Things like that. And then so my name on LinkedIn is weird. It's Xiao Songdes, and people, what the fuck is that, right? So basically, 14 years ago when we got married, and my husband asked me, do you want to take my surname? I said, of course not, no way. Like, my surname is the greatest in the world. Why should I take yours? How much are you going to pay me?
Okay.
And he says, no, I was just asking. And then about 2 years ago, I started using Songdes a lot. And they said, oh my gosh, after 14 years of being together, 10 years of marriage, and then finally you're proud of my surname. I say no, because there's too many Yang Xiao on LinkedIn. People can't find me. Oh. That's why I put a Songdes behind. You say, I know, I've been used again. So
okay. I mean, there's so many things. Okay, first thing, when it came to you graduating, I'm still going back one step. Okay, graduating from poly. So 2 things were on your mind. So basically, finding a husband. That was really number one priority. Anyone recommend a date for me, and I'm there. Okay. I never want to miss any chance. What if I can find that one victim? I just need one victim for 50 years. That's all. Victim. That's how it is. Okay.
Yeah. So I was there, and I was at that time. There's no Tinder. I was on Match.com. I was on Single.com, and then I still remember. I was in town. I have to go home to check an email, see what he looks like, and then come back to town again.
Those were the days.
With Nokia phones, right?
Yeah.
Then I come back to town and I meet the guy again. I was there. I never. I think when I was doing sales, I think it's all about. It's a numbers game as well. It's all about prospect, and then get rid of time wasters as soon as possible.
How do you get rid of time wasters? Yeah. So on that, okay, I know this is really irrelevant, but. Like what are the red flags, and how? Do you have any stories? I'm sure you have stories.
You're talking about husband prospector or investor prospect?
Husband prospecting.
I'm just very straightforward, as you can see now.
Yes, super straightforward.
I mean, it's. I would tell him like. It's TikToking, and I'm looking for a husband material. I understand it's not your fault if you're not ready, but I just don't want to be a babysitter for too long. then we have to move on. I don't mind offend people. I think that's
because
that's
it's really what you want at the end of the day, right?
Exactly. I always believe that I'm not a US dollar. Not everybody has to like me. So the ratio is 50% chance people will like me anyways. Okay. And then why on earth I have to spend so much effort to impress the people who don't even like me? Time is so limited. If I can spend 5 minutes with my children, teach them 5 more Chinese characters, or spend more time at home with my husband and be nice to him for a change, that will worth a lot more. That will worth a lot more. So I think just being straightforward, be who you are, and then it's fine if you upset this date, and then you will never see him again anyways. So why bother? When I'm going out in the bars, in the disco, I'm the one that's the craziest can be, because look at all of you. I dropped my 2 children at home for 3 hours. I'm gonna have to enjoy this. Oh yes, right? Yes. And also, I don't care about what you gossip about me. I would not see any of you tomorrow anyways. We're staying in a big city. It doesn't matter. If I'm staying in a village of 500 people, maybe I'll care a bit about my reputation, but
even though Singapore is a small place, it's still a big place.
It's a big place. You wouldn't just remember, you wouldn't see these people tomorrow anyway. So why not just enjoy yourself and then dance your heart out, and then who cares?
Okay, wow, okay.
The people always say like, oh my God, it's okay. She's dancing like that because she's drunk. But you know what? I've been drinking water the whole night. It's my cardio.
Okay, I definitely can tell you're super hyper. I mean, when it came, don't take offense. I'm not sure whether this is offensive or what, but is it?
Nothing offensive to me.
I've never seen like a Singapore, or I'm not sure if it's a nationalistic or it's an individualistic thing, but what were your peers, what was the general sentiment of your peers of you thinking this way in terms of wanting to settle down as fast as possible, relative to like your classmates and peers, like when talking to other
you know
friends?
What? They all want it, but they don't say it. And they don't do it.
So you're
either. I'm the mutant Chinese.
Mutant Chinese.
I'm the one that I said my husband is the only British who doesn't watch football. I'm the only China girl who don't give a shit about bags.
Wow.
I don't have any Gucci. I don't have any LV. And then, as Gary Vee said, why we have to spend so much money to impress the people? They hate me anyways, right? Okay. And since I know that if I spend $5,000 on the bag, $4,000 is on the rent, $1,000 is on her commission. What do I get? Nothing, right? And then that's the thing. I think when we met, I told my husband about my concept. Oh my gosh, this woman is practical. Like, it's perfect. And then
it's a breath of fresh air, is it? Relative to other
I think he was a little bit intimidated, which is not a surprise. Which is not a surprise. Okay. But I told him, I said, yes, we will. I love Singapore so much. And when Lee Kuan Yew passed away, and I was 8 months pregnant with my number 2, I was so sick, but I queued up. I queued up to pay the respect. Gosh. Without him, we wouldn't have this tuition ground program here. I wouldn't be here.
He changed your life.
He changed everybody's life.
Yeah, he changed my life, definitely.
What did he do?
For just being born in Singapore.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You could have born in the Fisher Village. That's all.
Yes. It gives you perspective.
Exactly. And then people said, oh my gosh, your husband is from England. Will you guys go back to England after you retire? I said, listen up, husband is replaceable. Singapore is not.
Wow, okay.
Which is true, isn't it?
Yes, it's true. Okay. On a very random note, like, how do you chance upon Gary Vee? And how do you find out about his content? I'm quite fascinated. Most of the podcast listeners I'm connected to, right? Always, because I'm in Vaynermedia, of course, and Gary Vee is a CEO, right? And everyone seems to know Gary Vee. So I'm just curious to know, how did you know Gary Vee?
I think
through
just
his content,
random feeding.
And what was your impression? Just a very general take on it.
I think what I like him is if he's a female and if he's a Chinese, we could be sisters.
Wow. Okay.
He's just don't give a shit. He says, this is what I'm thinking. You like it or you don't. It's totally up to you. And also work your ass off. The result will come. It just depends on sooner or later. But if you don't even work, it's nothing will come. Yeah, and then that's why I think that encouraged me. Like, we have leads of F45 investor coming in, and I always retouch if they say they're not interested in or whatever. 1 year later, I still call them up. You know what? It's that lead. They can't be better. No harm. Maybe I can harvest 1 out of 1,000. Who cares? right? No harm. You just remind them like the
it doesn't cost you any more to follow up, right?
Yeah, and until they block me. Yeah, which is fine.
Got it. You're so meant for sales. Oh my gosh. I mean, speaking of which, your first messages to me was how Vaynermedia could F45 could have a partnership, right? So if you're watching, which is my boss. Okay. So moving. Okay, one step at a time, right? When did you decide to make that jump from being after you've given birth, after you have your children, you settle down already? It's time to move on with build your career in that sense, right? When did Desert Rose Art Studio come into place? It's a belly dance studio, or how did you decide where you wanted to start?
So I was trying to find a way to lose weight after giving birth, and then I really like dancing a lot. I've been doing like pole dancing, belly dancing for a few years. That's a way for me as a therapy. This is opened by a friend of mine, and then she is she is a doctor in US. She was an engineer as well by force. Like we didn't like engineer, but she got all the scholarships. She went all the way to doctor PhD program, and she gave up halfway become a belly dancer.
Oh,
she paid a lot of money to the government
to break the bond.
Yeah, to break the bond.
But she couldn't stand it anymore.
She couldn't stand it anymore. And then so she started this belly dance studio, and then we created a very safe environment for Chinese.
Yes.
We only, in our belly dance studio and in yoga studio and makeup studio, we have 3 at that time. We coach everything in Chinese only. If you only speak English, sorry.
That's your target niche.
Yeah, go to fitness first or whatever. And then we only use WeChat to target Chinese. So my idea is when I came to Singapore when I was 17 or 18, the population was 3 million. Now the population is 5.5, okay? Out of 2.5 million, 75% has to be Chinese as a ratio. And Singaporean birth rate is low. Where they're from? They're like myself. So whoever come from China would never get on Facebook. Their Facebook account always get hacked. They would never check the website. They would never check Instagram. Yeah. So we were the only fitness studio on WeChat for years and years. And then we, about marketing, you know that if you don't spend money, you never know it's gonna work or not. You thought this gonna work, but actually it turns out shit, you don't know. So we tried maybe 10 or 15 different WeChat platforms in Singapore and China, and then we tried all sorts of things. 2 or 3 works. Rest of it, we wasted money. So people started asking me about, so which one works? I said, why should I tell you for free? I did it with my heart and sweat, and then with my money, and then I was thinking, okay, I can put this in use to start coaching. So we've been coaching in CERS, Singapore Retail Institution, and then at Singapore Productivity Center, we coach the local Singapore SMEs owners to how to do WeChat and TikTok marketing as well. So because they hit the bottleneck for Facebook and Instagram by now already as it drops, right? The engagement on Facebook. And also for companies who want to go to China market, it's very important to know, is this person they can afford it or not. Example, like F45 membership is not cheap. If in Singapore, I know the gender, I know your interest, but I don't know if you can afford it or not before you walk into the door. But in China, everybody use WeChat Pay. So I can detect, if you spend 2,000 this month, you earn 3,000. You spend 20,000, you earn 30,000. So I can cap the people who can afford it, and also they view about fitness, HRIT, and then I throw the advertise in their WeChat moment. That's all. So it's much more accurate. The conversion rate in China of a trial is about 88%. In Singapore, it's between 15 to 25% because you don't know can they afford it or not to start with.
I mean, can you target people based on their income?
Spending. Not income, but spending. But almost there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite accurate.
In China, okay, I didn't know this. In Singapore, you can actually, is it?
Yes, if they are from China, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but if like myself, I use WeChat all the time in Singapore only. I don't have any history, so they wouldn't know. But there are ways to identify who's a more higher income, who's a lower income. You can check what they view. Yeah. Because on Facebook and Instagram, you can buy fake likes, but on WeChat, you click on the article, you have to read it more than 6 seconds. That will count as a real view. Yeah, so that is more accurate as well.
So this experiment on Desert Rose Art Studio led you to the idea of, hey, actually I can do this for big companies.
Yeah, we only use WeChat Marketing. We grew our member from 100 to 600. We grew location from 1 to 3. And then our locations, we had 2 in Chinatown and 1 in Geylang. We always go where the China Chinese hang out to start with. And we always open a shop, our studio above a restaurant. Eat the shit out and then buy more packages. It's fine.
In the what, sorry?
They can eat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then you can buy more packages.
Oh.
And then our studio is for women only. So belly dance is kind of sexy. So we guarantee the husband, nobody will see your wife wearing sexy clothes. Just give her your credit card. That's all.
Okay.
And also I write articles about, the divorce rate is 50%.
15?
50.
50?
50%.
Okay. Wait, about what? Like
divorce rate.
Of your clients? Or?
In Singapore.
In Singapore?
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't even know that. The divorce rate is 50% in Singapore.
Yeah. And then globally as well, I think in Shanghai is 55%, something like that. Big cities are definitely.
Wait, how does this relate to your?
So I educate the girls. If you don't spend his money, he's gonna spend it someone else.
Wow!
So
wait!
So you wanna keep yourself look nice and lean.
Oh my god! Okay.
And then so we bring the girls out for belly dance performances. Like sometimes like Clarky, there's the bar at Shiraz or something. The dancers are mostly our teachers. They're from China. They're definitely not from Middle East. Good quality and cheaper as well. And also we have like big showcases in Shangri-La or whatever. The girls dance really well, but their makeup is shit. And then we realized, clients are not happy with how they look. And then we said, okay, we have to teach them how to do makeup, but why should we teach it for free? So we charge them about $3,000 per person for 30 hours. And then each batch, we have like 30, 40, 50 people. That's the generate the revenue. And then also we feed them to be a professional makeup artist in MediaCorp. Give them a career. So past most of people just speak Chinese. They don't speak English much. So this is a good career pathway for them as well.
Wait, okay, so it's not just a school, but it's a training school to lend you other gigs in like
we
dancing.
Sell drinks.
Okay. Okay. I'm a bit in terms of content marketing. Okay, quickly elaborate more on the diverse part. So you really made use of that messaging angle to like get more clients, is it?
Yeah. And then it's very niche, and it's woman to woman.
Yeah.
So if it's a guy, it's sexist.
Okay.
But if a woman to woman, it's it is what it is. That's something people think about, but they don't talk about it. But we point it out.
Okay. I'm just very curious. Where did this inception of this idea come about? Like, I find this marketing angle very unconventional, but yet at the same time you're saying it's very effective, right? Where just a very like, do you talk with your partners, or like, are you the one that come out with like
things I don't know.
To talk about?
I think like just like Gary V or yourself, I think if marketing and sales is in the bone, it is like nothing you can.
Okay.
You can't do like I can sense trend. Like F45, I knew it's a trend when I took it over. The first 6 months, I saw nothing, but I still stick it on. I knew it would work. But it was not easy. Like you're working so hard for 6 months, and then you done a lot of meetings, and then you done a lot of calls, and then people are telling you it is saturated. It's 10 here already, and then people just can't afford it. It's too expensive. How you charge double with less facility? I started to believe it myself at the end of the 6 months. But then once we start shooting up the numbers, and I was like, all of you are wrong. But the only way to prove them wrong is by action, and then show it on there, and then result. And that's, for me, everything is performance based. Stop talking. Just roll up your sleeves and start doing it.
Okay, obviously you learned a lot as a marketing director in like running all these WeChat campaigns. Then because technically this could really be a lot. You're doing so much for your clients already. Why F45?
So actually, I never knew about F45 until one of our yoga students. She said, "I'm going back to Shanghai for good. Can I franchise your brand?" And I was like, "Hell yes! You're paying me to grow my brand in China." And
as in your brand, as in the
Desert
Rose Arts. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, why not? So I was thinking, we just need to do some research about what is the fitness industry franchise is about. And then I came across F45, Orange Theory, 9 Rounds, Anytime Fitness. I didn't know about any of them before because I was in my little belly dance world.
We're all in our own world, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so I was like, my gosh, F45 the financial table really shout out loud. And then I was
when you say financial, they mean like remuneration, pay basically.
The payback period is short, and then the investment is very low compared with many other brands. So and then because our membership is so expensive compared with others, that's why you can get your investment back very quickly. And then people come for community, they stick in. They don't change much at all. Unless there's a new F45.
Okay, so that's the reason why you chose F45.
And yeah, so I started studying it, and I was like, this, and then I came back to my business partner. I said, the Chinese girl, I said, yeah, I don't think it's a rocket science. We can do, and then we can start building our own franchise, and then we franchise to China, which the rest of the Western world don't know how at all, right? But she said, I'm just happy with my 3 studios. We don't want expansion at all. You know what? It's not her fault. But I know that every single studio we open, I add on more risk. I add on more cost of the rental. Who would know COVID would hit, right? So I say, I'm out. So. And then
But then at the point of time, you have already done research into this franchise business and you're interested in it.
Yes. And then I started to contact F45. So I'm thinking about buying F45. And my strategy will be so different from the first 10 owners because most of them are Australians and Kiwis.
Yes, it's originally from Australia, right?
It's originally from Australia. So I would open a studio. I would start with WeChat. I would recruit Chinese, which is almost a third of the population to start with. Let's say why Grab doing WeChat? Why? They don't even have market share in China because if they don't do WeChat, they cannot hit that 1/3 of the population in Singapore forever, basically. So I said I will do WeChat first, and then slowly I go to locals, and the expats or not, they come, they don't come. But that would not be my main focus for sure at the client.
They aren't as sizable.
Yeah, and they leave after 2 or 3 years. Look at COVID, how many expats has left, right? So yeah, and then I reach out to the headquarters, and then I say I'm interested in this. And so my boss, Luke Armstrong, came to Singapore for a seminar. And then I told him I'm very interested in this, and I told him my idea about WeChat. He visits China a few times. At that time, we have Beijing and Shanghai studios already, so he knew the power of WeChat. And then he says, we don't have anyone know anything about Chinese market or WeChat, So
you're that person.
Yeah, so you could be the right one. I say, you know what? If anything. Any position in F45 you have for me, I'm more than happy to do so. I said, yeah, sure. No basic, no salary, but commission only. So basically,
do
whatever
you want. Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
But you're rewarded based on your efforts if you bring results.
Yeah. But who knows? Nothing is guaranteed. And I didn't know much about F45. I didn't know too much about this fitness market either. I was in my little dancing yoga world, right? And then he says, maybe you want to try this. I say, sure thing. I don't have to, it doesn't cost me much at all. And then the rest of the history.
I mean, at that point of time, you're definitely confident of your skills in WeChat marketing to really bring results to the company. But doubts, because technically you would not only be just doing WeChat marketing, but really, I would say full funnel, whereby you literally need to close with the people. Sales, I'm not sure if sales was something that you have experience in closing people, right? So
I closed my husband.
Oh yes, that's the biggest close of your life. But when it came,
stable recurring income.
Yes. Okay, but when it came to you talked about your first 6 months, right? Not closing. How did that feel? I'm sure you're able to give just some lessons along the way in terms of you trying to make it work. What are the things that because I don't know much about the franchise business, right? What common mistakes do you make along the way into growing this number exponentially, growing this number of studios quite exponentially? I
never think, and in my dictionary, there's never bad experience. Any experience is an experience. Either it's good or it's an experience, and nothing is bad. If you don't experience that, you never know what is good. So if I didn't date that many guys before, when I met my husband, I wouldn't be so sure this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. So no, I don't think I've made any mistake. Everything I've done, I learned something. So none of them are mistake at all. So just start working. Nothing. You shouldn't overthink. Overthinking about anything else, because if you do it, the successful rate is 50%. If you don't, it's 0%. If you don't do anything.
So on this route during your 6 months, right? What tangible steps do you take? Was it like, okay, you told yourself, okay, it's a numbers game. I just need to approach as many people as possible. Like, could you share maybe the first steps when it came to really making this growth happen? What are the first steps for you?
I think it's about timing, and then also I paid for my own trip, flew to Sydney and my own hotel, and I worked in the headquarters for a week, and then I attend the induction course. I learned a lot during that time.
Everything about the product and business.
Product, and then also how the headquarters runs, and then knowing the technology behind. And then when I came back, everything is better. But listen, I pay for everything myself for that trip, though. Not everybody is fine with 6 months making no money, but working as a full-time and still have to spend the money to go to the headquarters to learn things. Not everybody's fine with that.
Negative cash flow. Were you teaching piano then? No, is it?
I was.
Okay, so there was still some sort of income.
A bit. I was not because I was so busy with trying to learn the franchise and then talking to the investors. I didn't have much time for piano, but I always knew that when I'm 60 years old, I can still teach piano. But at that time, I don't even know what's a TikTok then. I don't even know what is a WeChat then. So make the most out of it now. When my brain is still clear and I'm still on the trendy side. I have the yoga teacher certificate as well, but I never teach because I know that I can do that when I'm 60 years old.
Okay, like milking the kind of skills that you have in the future.
Yeah, as much as possible by now. I just have the urge and rush to do things. That's why I text you so many times.
Yeah. Okay. After you came back, Singapore, what's next? Like after you came back from this training induction program in Singapore, so what were the next steps?
Oh, my confidence level of talking to investors just going over the roof. I really know what's going on. I know the things.
It is a product that you really believed in.
Oh, you have to.
Yes, you have to, right?
You have to. If you don't believe any. You have a little bit doubt of the product, don't sell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And the thing is, like most of the time I meet my clients in my home, in my little garden. That Singapore is such a small place. You can't sell people shitty things at all. Yeah, it's such a small place, and then I have to sleep in the night. I don't want to make that little commission, but sell them something I don't even believe in. No, no way.
Yes, definitely. Okay, that is something.
And then during the grand opening of their studio, they have like maybe 170 prepaid members. When the day they open, they're profitable. Then they send me a bottle of champagne, say thank you. That's what I like about it. I knew if I really want to make a lot of money, what I should do is sell properties to Chinese investors. That is the best way. But the thing is, I don't think I will enjoy as much as now of doing franchise selling to the investors, because I'm not a breadwinner in the house for the last 14 years. So I don't have to. So when I was in LA in March, and then it's a sales training, they were asking like everybody, why you become a salesperson? I said, listen, my goal is make my husband as a toy boy as soon as possible, so I can afford everything in the home. And then I tell him, if you want to be a house daddy, you can. But now he doesn't have an option of that. He has to afford everything.
Oh, okay. I see. Why were you in LA? Was it a sales training by F45 or do you?
By F45.
Oh, so they literally
they flew all of us to LA to do the training.
What kind of sales training was this?
I really appreciate it.
Like was it like a one week training?
Yeah, it's a 1 week training.
Is it like by F45 franchise, like literally from all over the world, is it?
Yeah. So this is like when you, I buy a franchise today and I'm obligated to get trained in Sydney or LA before I'm allowed to open my door. Yeah, so that is a training that's called induction course, like sort of discovery days, and that's the second time I'm taking it. I always learn something new, and also we hire somebody from outside to teach us some sales skills, like what basically. Just like F45 student managers or trainers, we don't expect all the trainers are good salespeople, but there's a cheat sheet. If you ask them after the trial weeks, ask them question from 1 to 10, you close, you don't close, you don't close.
It's a script.
Everything is very much standardized. Yeah. Sales is just like baking a cake.
You just follow the recipe.
And then it result is good, it's not good, and maybe you're just not suitable salesperson,
or just try it more number of times.
Exactly. And then actually, there are different personas of the clients, but we're all human beings. And then as Gary Vee said, just be kind. And then you can't fake being kind. You cannot fake that. Then people see me so straightforward, they know I just cannot bullshit them, something I don't believe in, or I never tried it myself. Yeah.
Okay. I think there's a lot to learn about.
Is that a bit overwhelming?
Yeah, no. I think there's a lot to learn about sales, and wow, I think it's so good that the company sends you guys.
Yeah, they do a lot of Zoom training for us as well. They really spend money to hire the sales expert to teach us how to. We absorb some of it, but if something don't align with me, I just don't listen.
So when it comes to the franchising in F45, technically you are not the only one selling the things to potential investors. Like there are many representatives that can do so.
Yeah, in US we have a few. In Europe we have, and then in Asia is me. And then
wait, so the whole of Asia is you, or like there's a couple of people that
me and my boss.
Okay, only you and your boss. So you are like the representative in Singapore or Asia.
Yeah, especially China. So people think about F45, definitely they think about me because the second half of last year, I was holding my laptop and then just going I hit 4 cities as one go in China and then do showcases in Chinese. So people, when they think about F45, they definitely think about me. And then on my WeChat, and then I managed to invite myself to the 3 biggest fitness exhibitions. Virtually during the circuit breaker, and then my gosh, that result is phenomenal. Like I know that I have to generate my own leads and I have to convert the sales on my own. When I was on this live streaming, China, the scale is like 30,000-50,000 people.
In the number of
crazy, yeah. And then I was like, people were adding me on WeChat a lot, and then
hundreds of people, is it?
Yeah, correct.
Oh my gosh.
Correct. Yeah, that was fun. That was the good exposure. So I go for the panel discussion. They have like 2.5 hours panel discussion. Like my character is so straightforward, and then that catch people's attention as well. Yeah, but I'm just being me.
And that's so good, and it gets you qualified leads to a certain extent.
Correct. The people who are the first batch, like China, we have 24 territories sold, but still drop in the ocean. People would. Have a strong belief in us and open the first few F45 definitely are from the fitness industry. Yeah, not pure investors, because we need people to open and run it so nicely. So other people say, oh my gosh, this is profitable. It's a cool brand and the headquarter give lots of support, and then we want that too. Yeah. So if just pure investor, we actually reject them. There's a guy have a lot of money in Shanghai, but we just reject him because he said I don't care if it's F45 or F46. I just want to buy 10 of them. And then but we realized you can't be successful.
When you look when you say investor, I think I have like a different conception of it. Investor, you are looking for this investor to also operate that whole place as well.
So if you don't operate, but you have to find someone to operate with you. Otherwise think about it.
It's not a good fit.
Yeah. Otherwise I can matchmake them.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's very hard to find a suitable personality.
To mix the finances of both people is hard. To matchmake people is hard.
Listen, the marriage, when they love each other, have 3 children, the divorce rate is 50%.
Okay.
Think about the partnership just for money.
Okay. It's even much higher, right?
Yeah, no love.
No love.
No love, no children.
Okay. You are very specific in the kind of investors that you want to find. Aside from all this kind of live streaming, okay, technically you find them through participating in events like live streaming conferences, even like this podcast, like just putting yourself out there, right? Like, what are the ways which have worked for you in consistently bringing you
qualified leads?
Yeah, leads in that sense. Like, or is there like a reliable platform which you feel that, okay, this has always been steady enough, but at the same time, of course, as a salesperson, I'm sure you're like trying out as many things as possible, right? So yeah, what are these kind of more stable streams of leads which you
let's say the current franchisees we have in Asia, 95% are members.
Oh, so people who are currently in the gym itself.
Correct. So they love the product. They have to, otherwise they can't pass the interview. We don't accept people just with money. Then they know how the system works, and then they saw how fast F45 is growing, and then they know that if they don't start acting now, the territories they want will be gone, which is true, right? And then so that's why they're the one inquire about a franchise the most. Yeah. And then these are the ones we looking for. They have to be passionate about F45. I've seen people go through interview with F45 hat, F45 shirt, F45. They embroider the F45 logo on the shoes as well. So yeah.
Good signs, right? I mean, they are that passionate about it.
Correct. And also last year, I hosted this Marina Bay Sands on the observation deck. We rent the whole observation deck next to the infinity pool. We did an F45 track with sunrise. So it was a great event. 600 tickets sold out within 10 minutes. And we hosted a showcase in the Marina Bay Sands Exhibition Center. And we sold 7 territories on that day. And then people realize, oh my gosh, I've been agony so much about buying or not buying, and then the territory I want is all sold, and then they start jumping.
Territory is an area of the island area, yes. Or a city that you're in, is it?
Correct. Let's say in Singapore, we cut it into like 50, 60, 70 different sizes. In the CBD, it's a very small size. In the Changi, it's big because we go by population density. We know how many population can feed a successful studio. So yeah.
Or how much people you need to make a sustainable studio.
Yeah, correct. So people will say, oh my gosh, why my territory is so small? And then go to Changi. It's a huge area there because it's an airport. It's not that many people out there. Yeah. So CBD is very small. They cut it very, very small.
So let's say I'm a person interested in F45. So you talk to me, I'm a good fit, right? Like, in very layman terms, right? So I take the brand and literally, like, how much assistance does, like, say, the HQ give in like finding a place? I'll have to find my own place.
Correct.
I'll have to renovate the place.
Correct.
I'll have to, yeah. So then in terms of, so in exchange for the brand, then I'll have to just pay a loyalty, a fixed amount. Is it a fixed percentage of? It depends as well, right?
No. So the for 5 years you pay 50,000 for the franchise fee. Okay. We call that establishment fee. Okay. Basically, that will buy you like our IP, and then have you tried F45?
No, I haven't.
Okay, F45 we watch a TV.
Okay.
So
I've seen the videos lah. So it's like it's an interactive workout, and there's everything placed. What kind of workouts you want? I'm sure everything is crammed into 45 minutes. Then you just follow it accordingly.
Correct. You never need to come up with a workout on your own. We feed you the workout all the time.
So the curriculum, designs, collaterals, everything is done for you.
It's under sports science. So like today is a back day, tomorrow is a leg day. You don't have to think about it. Just go. Monkey see, monkey do, and then you will slim down, and then you will have a good result as well. So the 50K is for the franchise fee, and then the equipment in Singapore is 110,000, and in China, Taiwan, the rest of the Southeast, besides Singapore and Hong Kong, everywhere else is $60,000 for the equipment, and then every month in Singapore is 3,000 or 7% of the revenue, whichever is higher. And the rest of the Asia, besides Hong Kong and Singapore, is 2,500 or 7%, whichever is higher as well.
Okay, you definitely know the numbers over there. Okay, that's interesting. Who is your? I know it's a bit weird, but who is the ideal client for F45 on a fitness space? What is the ideal client?
You mean investors or members?
Both. Okay, investors and then members.
Investors, corporate refugees.
Wait, what?
Corporate
refugees. Why the word refugees?
Because they are in this corporate for 15, 20 years, and then they want something different. And then they realize that they're getting more and more expensive year by year. The job is more and more unstable. So they need a side income sustainable. They have money. Just to start with, it's not that cheap to start the whole studio. So they do have the money, and then they are the members of F45. We are targeting people who are money rich and time poor. So they are the one. And also they, the thing is, sometimes when people are too entrepreneurial, have too much of their idea, maybe it's not a good thing to do franchise because they want to change everything.
Yeah.
And then we will say, do F46 of your own. Don't do F45. So the only time you should put your entrepreneurship hat on is after you launch everything, and then you are thinking about who should I collaborate with. Maybe I should collaborate with the salon because the hairdresser always talk, and I give you free membership so you can talk to your friends and then post 3 times in the Instagram, something like that. Or the cafe and things like that. So
that way being entrepreneur, but not being entrepreneur.
But not at the starting. Like if it's just like nothing is good enough, I want to change this, then why bother to do F45? You have to do your own brand. You buying the whole concept and also the rules as well. We opened 2,000 studios globally. There's a reason. There is a system.
It's a fixed formula that's
correct. Correct. But some people are just not happy. So, oh my gosh, F45 is such a bully. It's F45 way or highway. Then,
I mean, it's similar to McDonald's. You can't change certain things, right?
You can't change the burger.
And all this is definitely legal writing, and like you have to go through. How long is this? Like, okay, I know like from your general closing pattern, how long does it take to onboard an investor into first discussions? What's the average closing time, if you are willing to share?
Between 3 weeks to 3 months.
That's quite short.
It is.
Okay.
Because I'm not a very person to start with. Okay. And also, Singapore is such a, example, just Singapore. Singapore is such a small place, and then the territories are so precious.
Yes.
If you don't buy, somebody else will.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a short process. I mean, if you like it so much, and then it's very hard for somebody to come back 3 years later, I want to buy. It's sold out. What can you buy?
It's a time-limited opportunity, a time-limited window.
Correct. And then usually we get the people who are looking for to do a side business for a long time. And then they have done their due diligence to compare our brand with other brand for quite a while. We kind of scared of people coming blindly. I only want F45. I say, have you done your study of other brand? No, I just want F45. No, please go and do your study. And then you can...
I'm fascinated that you say that, because like most salespeople, okay, I just want to close this straight away, man.
Yeah.
But in the end, I mean, were you a salesperson like this at the very start? Because
yes.
I know really? Okay,
yes.
Because I know that friends like, okay, maybe they learn this after their journey of like selling so many things, and things come back and bite them a few years later, I don't know when. So when could you share more about this principle of, I think you're a very ethical seller. And I'm not sure whether that's the right word, but
yeah.
Where do you get that from? Where do you get that from?
I get it from, I meet most of the client at my home.
Okay.
I don't want to do anything off
off
the track. So if I knew this client is having all their saving to do this investment, I will remind them so many times, are you sure? You have to be. And I would tell them 100 pages of the agreement. What are the
what are you signing up for?
Limit? The personal liability. It's very, very important. And I say, if you don't do this, I explain to them, and I also make sure they find a lawyer to explain them in a professional way as well. It's so important. Like they will bite you back in a few years later if you sell them something shit. Yeah. So it's very, and also I think. It comes back to many, many years ago. If I have a good husband,
I like you always coming to the husband idea. Okay.
I don't have to. I'm not the income earner for the house, so I really can take my time, and I'm fine to say no to the clients. I think it's too much risk for them. Yeah. So it's always very on the phone. It's like, are you a sales? I said, I'm a consultant, I think. I consider myself more consultant than salesperson, because whatever I suggest you, after I've seen hundreds of studios, what they've been through, just one sentence I tell you will save you so much time and save you so much money as well. Yeah. Then they will appreciate a lot. And then I'm always very upfront. that I gained the trust a lot as well. And I said, you know, if you only have this amount of money, don't do it because it will add up. It will add up.
All right. Okay. Going on to the ideal client for F45 itself.
So corporates people, and then because they've been thinking about it for years and years until when they decided to make the decision, they make a decision fast. So we have the persona is corporate people and athletic people. So we had some rugby players because they're at the height of their career. If they don't use the most of their fame right now, everything will go downhill. They will have injury.
Players?
Yeah, rugby
Isn't it
players.
very niche in Singapore? I don't know.
Not Singapore, but overseas.
Oh, okay. Australia definitely.
We don't have many athletic people here, but we have studios who are training the national basketball team.
Wow.
And then training the firemen as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So. And then another kind is the trainers. So the trainers been working at F45 for a few years. They came from part-time trainer to full-time trainer to studio manager. What else you can do? So, and then they can do like Singapore is such a rich country. They do a little bit crowdfunding from their relatives. They can afford a studio themselves already. It's not too difficult.
Is this something that the headquarters put out also? Actually, you should follow this kind of...
But there's, like for sales, there's never formula, right? Oh, and housewives.
Oh, housewives?
Yeah, so housewives, they do a lot of F45 workouts. And then imagine after 10 years of not working in the working field, it's very hard for them to find a job with the flexible timing and then with 3 children. So they love this. So they will convince the husband to invest in one studio, and then they will run it nicely as well. So, which is great because they open a studio next to an international school and things like that. They attract all the moms from the international. So our clientele, 75% are female.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Because women talk. Once they like something, they go out and in the cafe, they tell...
Their social circle.
Women bring referrals, guy don't.
Oh, really? That's a pattern that you see. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
So when we hit like Facebook, Instagram campaign, only hit women.
Oh.
Don't waste your marketing budget on guys. There is a saying in Chinese, 女人永远大过小孩，永远大过老人。永远大过狗，永远大过男人。
Oh, why is 男人 the last?
Yeah, because 男人, they maybe have one shirt for 10 years, they never change, right?
Oh, okay.
And then they buy the same shirt every 10 years. If they see, oh, it's a nice shirt, they wouldn't go and share on their Instagram. Say, hey, this is a nice shirt, but women share.
Oh, okay.
So if you spend one acquisition money on women, it's potential 10 referrals. But on the man, maybe he will buy, but so what? There's nothing come after.
Okay. Are there any other marketing lessons that you have learned? Like from this kind of observations, just if you're willing to share.
Oh, I'm willing to share everything, no problem.
Other interesting, because this kind of thing I although I ran paid ads, but I haven't gotten to this kind of detailed insights. Like
it's in the fitness.
What other market trends do you see in the fitness?
The reason F45 is more popular nowadays is because we're fine with guy and girls work out together in the same class, and also there's when people sign up at gym, they have a few doubts. They're not sure, is this the workout I like? They're not sure if I trust your company or your brand. And then most thing they're not sure is, can I do it? Right? So what we've done is something called F45 8 weeks challenge. We have a lot of like comparison video pictures of people before after.
I mean, that's a marketing tactic, right?
Yeah. And then whoever is the winner, the male will get 25,000 Aussie dollars.
Wait, what? Wow.
The girl will get 25,000 as well.
Wow.
So it's a global competition. And people who lose the most weight or people who lose the most the percentage of fat and things like that. So show them this is average Joe. And then if they can do it, there is a big chance you can do it too. So you solve their third doubt about themselves. So the first two usually is the easiest, but the last one is the hardest. So example is if it's a yoga place is all about feeling good or something like that, right? So interview your members for 3 months. And then let's say I interview like 300 members. How many of you feel happier after doing yoga for two months, and then how many of you feel less fatigue, how many of you feel happier at home, blah, blah, blah. So you come up with a static, real static, say 85 or 97% of them feel they sleep better, and then 85% feel happier. And then I said, oh my gosh, if 85% people can feel that way, maybe I can as well. So that is a way to encourage the people to have the third doubt resolved.
So having all these kind of stats to really get in or attract new people, to be honest.
Numbers is sexy. You have to give them numbers. Otherwise, come to my yoga studio, you will feel good. Or the other one said, you come to my yoga studio, 85% people feel good, and then 85% people feel better sleep, and then better family.
More benefits.
Yeah. And then don't always, example, like say a yoga studio, don't always show the most acrobatic pose. No, show the happy face. Show that she's, after doing yoga, she's happy playing with her kids and her husband in the botanic garden. I'm a happier person. I don't complain too much anymore. I'm more patient with my children. I'm having a happy family. You should join too. That's why your family is not that happy.
Whoa. Okay. What's next for F45? Or what's next? How do you see its development in Asia, and you being like one of the pioneers spearheading this? I would think that China would definitely be more of a market for you to really expand, because I would believe that there's no one with your expertise and understanding of the market to really expand that.
The whole company of 400 people, I'm the only China girl.
Yeah. So I mean, where's your priority? Because I'm seeing like Singapore doesn't seem to be... Singapore, that's it. So like, what's next for you? Where is your priorities? Is it like mainly the neighboring countries, Malaysia? I'm not sure if Thailand or other countries you're looking at. Now, what's the next priority for you, given that we are still in this like COVID period as well?
So as you see in the Straits Time, in 2028, China will become the biggest economy than US because of the COVID, to slow them down, right? It's 5 years earlier than expected. So definitely China is the priority, definitely. That's why the whole 2018, I was spending almost half of the time traveling China, and then meeting investors, and then visiting studios, and then get to know what they really need kind of support from HQ. But I can't do it now for the whole 2020. But I still able to sold quite a few studios during the lockdown, during the circuit breaker as well, because people see the potential of China growth. I mean, my generation, when I was like 14 years old, KFC came to Chengdu. That was the first fast food ever. And then, oh my gosh.
Were you there? Like, did you go to that place? Is it?
Whoever is hosting a birthday party in KFC, oh my gosh, her family is so rich. I want to be her friend.
Okay. Oh.
And then and then it's just so expensive. I remember my dream job is being a fast food restaurant.
Could you share like how much was it back then? Like this is in the 1980s.
Yeah.
Right?
A burger would cost 12 kwai. A bowl of noodle is 3.
3 kwai.
Kwai. Yeah.
Renminbi.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's 4 or 5 times more expensive. It's very expensive. So at that time, we never seen a restaurant so bright and clean. And then that was my dream job, just to be a fast food restaurant waitress, really. And I came to Singapore. I actually interviewed at Burger King, and was like, my gosh, they accepted me. I got my dream job.
Oh, this is during your poly days, is it? Or?
Yeah, the first 6 months. And then I went
realized that it wasn't a good
I
deal.
went for an interview, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I got accepted. And after 2 months, I'm not doing this. I better go and get my piano certificate as soon as possible. I don't want to do this at all. Yeah, but yeah, and then at that, so our generation or younger ones really grew up with fast food. And then people are getting fat. And then I can see that people are, like 5 years ago when you go to Shanghai, after office hour, and then people say, where are you going? They're KTVing or they're doing barbecue or whatever. Now, all the white collar girls who called maybe Jessica or Amanda, who doesn't even have a Chinese name, that sort, is going to the gym.
Yeah.
That's a trend. That's a trend. Yeah.
Fitness is here to stay, definitely.
Definitely. And also, they realize, especially after COVID, they realize medicine and hospital are not reliable. If I don't boost my own immunity, it wouldn't mean anything. So they start to work out a lot more. I can tell. Actually, I talked with a few franchisees. When in China, we had lockdown in January. Everything's almost back to normal in March, right? And then within the first week we opened is in Shenzhen or Shanghai, the 75% members came back. The second week, 100%. Yeah, people are back. So that's why I think F45 next year will focus a lot in Asia, because US is in a mess. Europe is in mess. Where else you should do? And then if you don't take the market in China as soon as possible, there's a F46 coming bigger, stronger, cheaper. Just a matter of time.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. So next year, 2021, we are going to set a headquarters here.
Wow, headquarters here.
Yeah. After I sold 50 studios. I did feel like we're the orphan in the whole F45 world. You're just in Asia, you're doing your own thing. But I think we really need to crack into Japan. Japan has a good potential, but the thing is, we need to understand the language and then the culture, just like in China.
You need to find another person like you.
Yeah. A Japanese version of me, I think. Yeah, it couldn't be. Wouldn't have been that difficult either.
Okay. Thanks so much for sharing so much. I appreciate your candors and directness as well. And okay, I'll just end the podcast with just the last few fire questions, right? If you were to walk into a bookstore and master 3 things, right? What 3 topics would you want to master?
Good mother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Being a mother is something I want to ask you about.
Yeah. Being a good mother is so important. I'm so proud to be a tiger mom for all these years. And then I remember my son's school had a survey, say, what kind of parent you are? Like mellow mom or blah, 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 or tiger mom. I take tiger mom. And then she said,
are you born in the year of a tiger?
No.
Oh, okay.
But then she said, are you offended? I said, tiger mom is a hard work. I'm not offended at all. I'm proud to be one. The easiest one just to be a mellow mom, don't care about anything, right? And then about parenting, it's very important, and also about marketing and about sales. That's all.
What biggest things have you learned being a mother since growing your child?
Patience.
Patience, is it?
I was not patient at all before, but then I realized with children, you just have to wait it out. You have no other choice. It doesn't matter how much you want to rush it. They will bounce back worse if you try to rush everything through.
What, do you have any examples?
Yes. I realized, and because I am a piano teacher, so I started teaching my daughter when she was 3 or 3.5 years old, some notes and everything. It was very difficult. And I just thought I'm not patient enough. And then I was like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. How can you not knowing it? And then I learned that, okay, let's wait until she's 5.5. Everything was so easy. And I cannot do anything. I just need to let her brain grow, and then she will be good. So now she's primary. When the school starts, she will be primary 4. And she just got admitted into advanced Chinese class. And also she received $100 from the government to reward her being a good student in the whole primary 3. I just have to wait it out. Nothing I can do about it. And then, yeah.
Do you want your daughter to be like a pianist or something, or just equip her with the skill like you had of teaching, is it?
Yes,
both your son and daughter.
Both my son and daughter.
So both of them.
I don't want them working in a fast food restaurant.
Okay.
At least they have an option. At least they have an
right?
option to work something else. Yeah.
Do you think they are inclined towards music? Okay, what was your belief around having talent in music? Just a very general question. From one musician to another musician.
Oh yeah, you've been teaching for a while.
Yeah.
How many talented children you've seen? Very rare. 1 out of 1,000. Okay.
Yeah, I'll say it's rare.
Rare. But you have to force them until at least grade 3. They start to enjoy. They can play some songs on that particular instrument. They will start enjoy it. But from grade 0 to grade 3, that's where the parents usually give up, not the kid.
Oh.
Because the parents have to like nag every day. Like, you're gonna practice this. I'm spending a lot of money on this teacher, and then you are learning nothing. Okay, let's just give up. Don't you think so? You've been teaching for a while.
at least the parents that I've came across are generally supportive, or actually, because when I first even take a student, I'm not sure whether it's sales, I want to align expectations. I tell, do you want your child to be a prodigy? Because if you do, I'm not a teacher. But my goal is to hopefully evoke that intrinsic motivation in the child to want to learn by him or herself. And that's my only goal. And if you're aligned on that, okay, because some parents really do, okay, I want my child to achieve grade 4 by what time? Then I'll just look and be realistic and see, is it possible? And I need to take into account the character of the child.
And then most of the time it's not realistic.
Yeah, it's most of the time, but at least the clients I pick, I always try to align expectations, because I know I'm not the kind of teacher that will scold you, but I will push the student and hopefully evoke that internal motivation. I mean, that's my goal as a piano tutor. I'm not the best pianist out there. I would say I'm not bad, but I'm not the best. No. But I love teaching. I think teaching and performing is very different.
Yeah. I actually really enjoy, you see this. You know what? I've been teaching for a while. I remember I've been teaching these neighbors, and then when they were 7 years old, I've been teaching them. And then I lost contact for a long time. About 10 years later, I caught up with them. And then I said, they are exactly what they are now as what I pictured then. Because one household, the mom is playing mahjong every single day, don't give a shit about the study. And the other mom is like paying attention to the children every day. Both are housewives, right? They're right next door neighbors. And then actually 10 years later, I came across with them. So one is studying law, and the other one is making cake making cake in the hotel. It's nothing wrong with it. But I could see that when they were 7 years old.
The difference in how they would become as adults.
Yeah, the mom didn't help anything with the study, and then she's playing mahjong every day, and then the payment to me is always late.
Oh, okay, you can tell, right?
You can tell. Yeah, you can tell. That's surprisingly how much you can tell a child the children's future for since that young, right? Quite scary though.
You have seen many parents inculcate their child in a certain sense and interact with many parents. So yeah, what trends do you see aside from this? Is there any other trends that you see, or in children in general, or is there any misconceptions?
Yeah, the parents just more and more protective nowadays. Like,
and do you think that's a good or bad thing?
Bad.
Bad thing.
Bad. Discipline is very important. So I never wanted my kids to go to international school, because I know that my kids will learn a lot more discipline in the local school, 100%. And then not everybody can be a CEO like Gary Vee, really do whatever and then say whatever they want. Sometimes you have to learn the skill of being a good employee. Okay, one day, 1 out of a million, you're a great CEO. Good for you. But what if you're not? You have to have the surviving skill, being a good employee.
Yes.
To survive. And then sometimes just listen, shut up, and then do it. Nothing can be done. No, don't question too much. I mean,
do it, reflect after a while, after you have done it, but don't be stubbornly.
Yeah. But something is like, if you don't do it, you will never earn that experience at all. Then you can't learn it from people teaching you. You can't learn from the textbooks. I mean, the first 6 months of me not selling anything, I learned so much. I mean, by talking to like 20 people a day, that gave me a sense like who will be the time waster and who will be a genuine buyer. And that sense, only ours will pay.
Only experience will.
Only experience, only hard work, only sweat will pay. There's no shortcut for that at all.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, discipline. So then people tell me that, says like, Xiao, the local school is so strict, and then it's too stressful. I said, depends on where you're coming from. I'm from China. Okay. Listen up. Like in primary school, we have to do homework until 12 o'clock. It's horrible. And then every week there is an exam, and the result is on the wall. You know where you are. And then you know if you're coming down from position number 3 to position number 5, your parents are not happy. It's that damn stressful. And then one class is 60 children. And then only one teacher. That's called precious resource. So we always queuing up to ask teacher questions. There was only 5 minutes in the internal break, right? And then so we know that. Come back to the husband. If I don't jump on him at that time, and I know he will be a great husband in the future. There is another China girl who's braver and has more balls than I am to secure him to be a good husband for her, not me. That's it. Precious resource, I think. I saw him. I knew he would be a great father and then husband for us, which is quite true. Yeah, he's a telecom analyst. So when we're having 3G, they're analyzing 4G. When we do 4G, they're analyzing 5G.
Wow, that's cutting edge.
Yeah. It's quite cool. Exactly what he does, I don't know. But he's on BBC or CNN very, very often. Pre-COVID, like once a month, because his opinion is very niche. People do want to listen to him. He's a smart guy. He's a very smart guy. He married me to start with.
Okay.
Somebody so awesome and humble.
All right. Wow. Okay. Wow. There's so much things I want to follow up. Next question. What's the best advice have you ever received?
From Gary V is
from Gary. Okay.
Yes. Just shut up and do it. And then keep on posting whatever. Don't care about the numbers of likes or whatever. It's your. I remember I post a lot of things of F45 on Facebook. I remember there was a friend said, stop posting so many things about F45 on Facebook. I said, listen, it's my Facebook.
Yeah.
And if I want to post something, I will.
Yeah.
Not your business. And then care much less about people's opinion is the best thing I get from Gary V. And then whenever I post something on LinkedIn, I say, okay, like 5 F45 territories are sold this week, and then we're adding up to 30 or 40, whatever. There's a hate comment says like, oh my gosh, she's definitely lying. There's not many F45s out there. Listen, when I sold, the studio will need renovation, probably 6 to 8 months, the studio will come out. So they don't know. And I actually talked to my husband. I said, oh my gosh, why people have to be so mean?
Yeah.
And then my husband said, if you're just a housewife staying at home with 3 children, nobody gonna bash you on LinkedIn. I said, sure, I get paid for it. Bring it on.
Wow. Okay.
He always give me great advice. Always.
What's the best advice from your husband?
Best advice from him is when I was younger in my 20s, whatever he says, sometimes I don't listen, but I always hit a wall. Always.
Hit a wall.
I always wrong.
Oh. So what? Listen to your husband?
So whatever he said is right. Now I listen. Now I shut up and listen. But previously I say, nah, you don't know this. I can see that this is going to be great. And then he will not say anything. He just let me do things. And he's really good at Excel sheet. So sometimes whenever I have an idea or something, he will never say, no, don't do it. Because he knew that if he says so, I'll do it 100 times. Right?
Okay, yes.
Then he will be like, next day he will give me a beautiful Excel sheet. Investment, return, numbers. Darling, that doesn't make sense. Then I listen. Okay. Yeah. And then a few times I thought I was solid right, but actually he was right. And then now I just blindly trust his decision. He said this contract can be signed, we sign. He said no, we don't. I don't even ask why, because he has my best interest.
And he has the numbers.
He's smart.
And he's good with it.
Yeah, and then
it's good smart. To have someone very analytical and very good with numbers.
Yeah, and I always tell him, I said, wow, thank you so much. After I had a stressful day, I come back, I talk to him. I said, I always feel better, darling, after I talk with you. He said, yeah, all the stress is on me now. I have to make the decision. Of course you feel better. I said, correct.
That's interesting. What's the worst advice have you ever received?
From him?
No, just in general. Oh, both. What's the worst? Just generally, what's the worst advice?
Well, one time in the sales training, someone says is coaching us said when an investor is asking you how much, you don't answer straight away. You always diverse to what is their purpose. Like they want to get out of the corporate world, or a housewife, they want to change or something. You diverse the question to find out their real purpose or something like that. And then I said, sir, I think maybe it's a culture difference.
Okay.
If my investor asks me how much and I try to diverse, they will ask me which part of how much you don't understand.
Yes.
Tell them straight away.
Yeah.
Don't be the sleazy sales out there to hide. And at the end of the day, people will find out, and then people will understand your intention is just for your commission, or you're really thinking about, what's your goal in life? And blah, blah. Let's talk about money first. If you can't afford it, why?
Why are we talking?
Why? Yeah, why we're talking? We can make friends somewhere else, really, not here.
Got it. What do you think of I'm not sure if you're familiar with the this thing about unethical selling on YouTube, whereby there are companies that are selling workshops that are what are your thoughts on that in terms of like giving all this kind of proper? Because I personally know, I mean, I'm just saying out there, right, my piano student's father, right, he does this. He runs ads for these kind of very of what I regard, which no one should care about, but what I feel is very unethical. Like you're literally targeting people in their vulnerable. I mean, and
they don't have much money. And also,
I was thinking, at least, but it doesn't really matter if they have much money or not, but the most important thing is they're willing to fork out. And that's where like a lot of damage is heard. Like you see so much comments on social media about unethical selling and people just being very frustrated at this. What are your general thoughts on that? Because I feel like what you're saying resonates with me as a seller as well. You're being very ethical and being fully confident that your product will bring the end result that you have promised them in the first place. Whereas there's a lot of all this get rich quick kind of programs. Or just your general 2 cents on it.
You want my honesty answer again?
Just honest
so
answer.
The thing is, like, I never understand about the people who coach how to choose the best stock and then sure it will win, right? And then listen up, if he's the Warren Buffett, there's only one Warren Buffett out there, right? Okay. And then if he's the Asian version of Warren Buffett, why he's still coaching? Coaching is not easy. Teaching for 3 days, you stand there for 3 days and then you lose your voice, and then end of the day, every day, it's a tough job. So if he can, I'm not saying he would be accurate every single time. Even he's just accurate 51%, he'll make shitloads of money already rather than teaching. So just think about it. So teaching is still easier than choosing the right stock out there, because nobody knows, right? And then also about the reoccurring. Besides getting married, it's a recurring income, but that is not sure either. 50% chance it will fail, right?
Wow, okay.
Yeah, but other than that, this is like, what is that word? Financial freedom?
Yes.
There's no financial freedom out there. If you don't work, you don't get anything. That's all. So these people who claim they have financial freedom, they're still spending advertising money and they're teaching to you every day. They work harder than anyone else. They don't have financial freedom at all.
Okay, that's interesting.
What do you think?
What do I think? I think, because as a paid marketer, I mean, you understand the metrics, and from a marketing standpoint, from a paid marketing standpoint, I really respect the kind of ads, the kind of targeting, the retargeting that they do, the funneling that they do so well, the persona that they do very well. Just that I feel that it isn't. If I ever wanted to do something like this, right, I first need to have... You can't
sleep in the night.
Yes, I need to push a product or service that I truly believe in. And that is something that I'll use my paid marketing skills for. But to use it for this kind of clients, which that's why even when I take on freelance clients, right, I want to make sure that I'm able to deliver the result that they want at the end of the day. And I don't want to promise anything that's short of what I promise them and what they expect.
And their product is genuine.
Yes. And that's the most important thing to me. Yeah. So, I want to sleep well at night. So that is just my upbringing, that I can't see myself doing that, but I do see people doing it. And I'm just amazed at how, honestly, the financial rewards behind it is quite a lot.
You realize actually people are not that smart out there. Think about it. Once coronavirus started hitting us, Corona beer sales dropped 33%. 33% are just pure dumb, right?
Whoa!
Then you know, Budweiser CEO was like, Corona CEO said, I want to pay $1 million to change the virus name to Budweiser.
Okay.
Think about it. That is 33%. Definitely just pure dumb. So they just need that 33%,
and that's
to
enough
generate
and that's enough to sustain
revenue.
a business. Already.
Correct. You can put a number of dumb people out there.
By sheer market, but the marketing funnel, it makes sense.
Numbers game.
Okay, yes, it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
Like everything, like finding a husband, finding leads, finding everything.
Just need one victim for 50 years.
Okay. Last question. What tangible things would you want by the end of 2021 to make it the best year for your life?
I want happy children.
Happy children.
Happy family, that's all. Nothing else. Nothing else. There's
Technically,
nothing
wouldn't you
valuable
have
there.
achieved it already? I mean, okay, is there something more tangible? How do you measure happiness?
Kids are excited to go to school every day, and then they are so happy to spend time with us. And then they, you can see it is tangible, because every time you see their smile and laughing, you know they have worry-free life, and then they're really genuinely enjoy everything they have. And I also don't want them to get. I never bought any new clothes for my children for all these years. Their clothes are secondhand from our neighbors.
Okay.
Because no point.
Because they grow so fast, right?
And also, even they don't. I just don't see the reason they have to wear anything fancy for forever. We save them money for tuition, for buying a property or something valuable for them in life. And then I remember I want my kids. I remember we went to Sentosa. I've ordered one smoothie, which costs $15, include the GST and then service charge, and I want them to share. And then there's another family came in next door with 3 children. They bought 5 smoothie next door, and then my daughter said, "Oh my gosh, they're so rich," which is understandable for a 9-year-old brain. But I said, "Listen, did you go to Disneyland last year? So we can do that too, but no more Disneyland." Everything adds up. You're gonna have to start saving from small things, and then don't splurge on something not that meaningful. We could just go to McDonald's next door for a smoothie for $2, and then they listen.
On this, right, how do you teach your children the concept of money and all this kind of stuff? I don't know. I think it's quite because of course I don't have children myself, so but when it comes to explaining these kind of concepts, how do you do
during
it?
circuit breaker? Okay. How to motivate them to do the homework nicely every day. So they have to bring me the homework they've done, and then I'll give them $1. So $1 per person, and then there is a pantry. I said this is our home shop. So they can go shopping. Oh. So the money comes back anyways.
Okay.
So then my son
that's very interesting.
My son picked a very small candy, and then my daughter said, "Are you silly? Take the big bag of chips." And I said, "That's $2. Oh, no wonder. So then they know they need to save for 2 days to get that bag of chips.
Or they need to work.
They need to work on it. And also, like, my daughter borrowed a book from the library. I told her, return it on time. I told her many times, but she was not bothered to even find the book. And then, so we get $17 of fine.
Oh, and deduction. Is it real fines?
Yeah, it's a real fine.
Oh my gosh.
And I told her, you're paying $7, I'm paying $10. Next time, you are paying it all. Because I told you many times, you're still not listening. Oh, my money, But
so they
have
feel it.
They have to feel it. Otherwise, it doesn't, And then when we go to McDonald's, and then she is eating a bag of chicken rice, and my son can eat the McDonald's Happy Meal because she needs to save that money to pay the fine.
Wow.
Tiger mom.
Was it more of your initiation, or how do you talk things with your husband? Is it your husband that, okay, maybe because I'm sure he's very numbers driven, like did you propose this kind of thing, or was he discuss about it?
We speak Chinese, he doesn't know.
Oh, as in who?
Me and children.
Oh, wait. Also, it's entirely by you, is it? Yes. Does he even know they exist, or somewhat the concept of it?
Yeah, later then he will realize, well, what are you guys doing? And then I explain. He said, okay, sure, that works.
Wow.
He's an Angmo, but he's a very Chinese Angmo. That I don't feel like I'm living with a Guilo at all. He's more Chinese than I am.
Wait, why do you say he's more Chinese than you are?
Example, when we are trying to buy our condo many years ago, and I suggested we should buy 99 years. It's cheaper, it's bigger. He said, no, we have to buy freehold. I said, why? He said, well, we can leave it to the children. I said, oh my gosh, that's very Chinese concept. He's British, but he was born in Singapore at Glen Eagles, and then he went to Tanglin Trust. He's the first batch of Tanglin Trust school students at that time. So he loves Singapore. Then when he was 16 years old, they returned back to England. And then he always want to come back. So he said, the company told him and said, who wants to open an Asian branch? He says, definitely I want to come. So I know that he loves Singapore as much as I do. And then I don't want to move around at all. This is home. This is definitely home. I spent 20 years here. I spent 17 years in China. But deep in heart, I think I'm still a China girl, but this is home. So I'm a little bit confused, but it's fine. As long as my children know they're Singaporean, it's good.
All right. Okay, I think this is quite interesting. Very last question. What's your life purpose?
My life purpose?
Yeah.
Having a good husband and have 2 happy children. Nothing about career, honestly. But this career, some sort of achievement, and then working, and then signing like 3 contracts a night, that just excite me a lot. I don't need to buy bags to make me happy, but get recognized in the industry, and then like I'm like dropped out of nowhere. Like who's the one sold so many studios of F45? Who's that person? And what a weird name. Where is she from? What is she? So that creates curiosity, and then people reach out to me for advice about franchise, about fitness, about marketing. Happy to share all the time. And then, yeah, karma is a bitch. Just help out. Gary Vee said, like,
karma is a bitch.
Yeah, being kind would never hurt you, and then just try to be you all the time, because if you tell one lie, you need 10 lies to fulfill it. And every line you need 10 lines to fulfill it. It's out of your brain capability. Just be who you are. And then, yes, people wouldn't like it, then it's fine. They're not the important people in my life anyways.
Okay, Yang Xiao, thanks so much for sharing so much. I can feel your anger about engineering, and like I can feel the energy in general, and I really respect that. Is there anything else you want to share with our podcast listeners? Anything else that's on your mind, fresh right now? I
strongly suggest whoever is a Gary Vee fan, or who has a very niche opinions to share, please contact JJ on LinkedIn. Okay. And then he's doing a fantastic job here. Even it's like this place is really out of nowhere. I need to bring a passport to come here, by the way. But it's worth the trip, and then it's great to know you better as well.
Got it. Thanks so much. If there are listeners out there that want to reach out to you or find out more about F45, where are you most active on? I know you're super active on LinkedIn.
Yeah, LinkedIn. So please find me on LinkedIn, Xiao Saunders, Xiao, Saunders, Saunders. New surname, sorry. So yeah, find me on LinkedIn, and I'm very active on LinkedIn. I post things and I always reply message very fast. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank
you so much. And I'll be leaving all the things below this video description. And yeah, thanks so much for watching this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one. And